everybody. Welcome to another episode of Her Story at Bougie Girl Cyber Happy Hour. I hope you'll have your drinks. We have a great one for tonight. We have comedian Ty Davis here. She graciously decided to join us and tell us her story. And let me tell you just a little bit about her for guys who may not know who she is. Ty Davis is a comedian. She's a radio personality, writer, producer, and actress. She's a native of Fayetteville, North Carolina, but has had homes all over the world due to her Army brat upbringing. It was in her early adolescent years that she became a social butterfly with the desire to spread love and laughter. After her mom retired from the military, she moved to Baltimore, where she started her comedy career. Ty frequently performed at the Baltimore Comedy Factory, DC Improv, and various venues in the DMV, and has expanded her comedy territory to Los Angeles, California, and the Upper East Coast. She's worked with some of the industry's top comedians and is featured on uh on season 3. I'm sorry guys. Y'all know I can't read sometimes. And is featured on season 3 of Kevin Hart's Presents Heart of the City on Comedy Central. In the same year of her national television debut, she won the Comedy Wings competition at the 23rd annual American Black Film Festival. She also hosts the morning after show on DTLR Radio Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and has writing credits on Comedy Hype and DTLR Radio's lifestyle blog. So everyone, welcome. Help me welcome Miss Ty Davis. Hi, ma'am. I told you I was gonna mess up.
Look, I was sitting there like, oh, I definitely need to make some updates to
You
my
do, you
bio, but
do.
whatever.
It's okay. It is. It is what it is. We just sending stuff out.
Yeah, it's
How
like,
you
what, I
been?
got this send, and I was like, okay.
Thank you again for accepting our offer to come on here. I love comedy. I love female comedy, so it's a pleasure for you to be on our platform. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So just how have your day been, and how has your world been since COVID started? Let's start there.
Well, today I was mildly productive. I had to do some research for a project because I'm back in school.
Oh,
Of
congratulations.
course, yeah, thank you. Like these last 6 months have been like extremely difficult, but they've also been so rewarding and just learning a lot about myself and adapting to, the state of things. I mean, obviously, the pandemic has kind of put a halt to a lot of people's lives, especially people that do live entertainment. So
Right.
my last time on stage was March 8th, and I didn't
Wow.
know that was going to be my last time performing on stage. One of the things that I love and I try to pride myself in doing is whenever I perform like it's the last time that I'm going to do it. And
Yeah.
it was like, but I didn't know that was going to be the last live performance I would give. So I was really excited about that performance. It was at the DC Improv. It was on International Women's Day. So it was like, a girl
Yeah.
powered theme show. And then the following week, it was like, Earth is closed. Good night. And I was like, wait, what? What you mean it's closed? Like, like how closed? Because I got shows. I'm booked for the rest of the year. What you mean? And I realized that everything was real because I started to get multiple cancellations of shows in one day. And to a full-time entertainer, to a road
Right.
comic, when you lose multiple gigs in one day, it's like having the wind knocked out of you. And
Yeah.
I was discouraged, I was upset, I was sad inside, and I buried myself deep into my depression for like I'll say the first several weeks. And then one day I was like, you know what? We don't know how long this is going to last. And I'm pretty sure you can't do this the whole time. So you got to get yourself together, Tiana, because that's my government name. That's what I said to myself when I talk to myself. Tiana, you got to get yourself together. So take one step, go take a shower. Take step two, do your hair. Step three, do something else. Um, so I just been focusing on enhancing my digital footprint and increasing my followers and just putting out content
Yeah.
online and really engaging with my followers. So it's been good in that way and being able to fellowship with other, fellow comedians because we're all experiencing the same thing. So it's kind of had its ups and
Right.
downs. Like this is the cutest I've been all week. I ain't did my hair. I ain't put on no
Look.
lipstick, nothing all week. I got cute for this. It's called Bougie Girl Cyber
Yes.
Happy Hour, so I had to look a little bougie. So I put the ponytail on. I got this from Amazon. I don't know if anybody was wondering. This is from Amazon. It cost $15 and it came with eyelashes.
With eyelashes? Oh,
It came with the
that's a
lash. I
good.
didn't even ask for the lashes. It was just in the bag, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice." I don't have them on. These my real lashes, but I got them in the bathroom.
Look, I understand. I just ordered some hair from Amazon myself, and I'm a hairstylist. I'm
I,
like,
I didn't know you
you
could.
gotta do.
I didn't know you could get all that. I done bought about three
Look,
ponytails from Amazon.
I've been hearing people buying wigs, ponytails, everything, and they have everything. And during the pandemic, that's great because you don't have to leave your house. So,
Hmm.
so let's get into some questions as some people dribble in. This is not our normal night, so they'll probably watch it in the replay. It's okay. So, just tell me about your childhood being an Army brat. What's the most memorable moments for you as a child?
Ooh, I don't know why this like out in my mind, but I had a great childhood. My childhood was awesome. Me and my little brothers, my mom every weekend would take us and we would do something, movies, miniature golf. Like she always had us in stuff. But the most memorable thing that jumps out to me, like, have you ever seen those videos on social media where they have the camera and they take a kid with their parent coming back from a deployment?
Hmm.
Um, that was one of the most like it just always warmed me inside because I've experienced that. And I remember my mom had to go overseas. It was the Gulf War Operation Desert Shield conflict in the early '90s, and she was gone for a long
Yeah.
time, and it was really scary. And we would see reports on the news about the Scud missiles, and there would be times where technology wasn't as advanced as it is today. So sometimes we would go
Right.
months without talking to my mom, and um
Um.
and we didn't know when she was coming back or if she would make it back, things like that. And I'll never forget, the family I was staying with, they were friends of the family. They were like my cousins and my aunt. We're out in the back and we're playing in the pool, swimming, and just having a good time. And the running joke with them was they would say, because I was a very sensitive child, I'm still a sensitive adult, but they would be mean to me and they'd be like, your mom's here. And I'd be like, what? My mom's here. And then she wouldn't be. And then I'd be sad inside. So this particular day, like we're swimming in the swimming pool, and then one of my cousins slash best friends was like, Tiana, your mom's here. And I was like, yeah, I ain't falling for that today. Like I've had enough. I'm not falling for that today. They were like, no, really, your mom's here. And I was like, whatever. So I just continue swimming, having a good time. I get out the pool and, I'm drying off and I feel a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and it's my mom standing there in her full
Oh.
army uniform. And I was just like, oh my God. And
Oh.
I just jumped on her, soaking wet, and like made her fall to the ground. I was so happy to see her. And but that's what jumped out to me. That was one of my most memorable moments
Yeah.
from my childhood is when she came back. And she's deployed many times, but it was like that one was the
It was
one
that
that like stuck
time.
up to, yeah, like it was, because
Was that the
it was
time she
really
was gone the
scary.
longest? Yeah.
No,
Was that
that's
the
the
time
crazy
she was
thing. she
gone?
wasn't she wasn't gone the longest, but this was, I guess, as a child and where I was in development, this was the most aware of the danger of,
Got you.
that she was in, because my mother had, she had deployed, her and my stepfather um deployed to Korea for a year. So my mother was gone for like an entire year. And then with the, but it wasn't a scary, they're blowing up people and killing people type thing. And I was much
Right.
younger. And then a couple years later, now all you see on TV are or hear about is war. When you think of war, it's like, oh crap, people are fighting and people are dying, which that
Dying. Right.
was happening. So this was the most dangerous situation that I was aware of that my mother was in.
Gotcha. So just to see her, you was like, "Oh my goodness, my mom's back. She didn't die in this war."
Like she survived. Like yes, you know what I mean. So it was amazing, and it was great to see her back home. But then it's like that anxiety of being an army brat. It's like you're here now. I missed you, but when do you have to leave again? So it was
Right.
always that for it's always that for the army brats. When do you have to leave again, and how long? You know what I mean? And then you have to adapt and adjust, and it's like, well, they said I could do this over here, but now your mama back, and your mama don't play that kind of stuff. So it's you got to relearn your mom. Your mom has to relearn the kids, and it's like you're not gonna beat me. You just got home, so you know I can get in trouble a little bit. You're not gonna punish me. You ain't seen me in like a year, lady. So
Did
but
that work?
that was the most
Did
memorable
that work?
experience.
You heard me? Did that work?
It worked for like it worked. I got a black mama, so it worked for like half a second. Then it was like, all right, now I done already said, so you better sit down. Okay, you're not playing. Cool. All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and chill.
I'm just trying to test my
And
limits a
chill.
little bit. That's fine. I
Yeah,
understand.
that welcome home done wore off, and now she like, all right, cool, no problem, mom. I don't want to smoke.
That makes sense. Look, 'cause
Train
as a
killer over here.
parent,
I'm not fooling with that lady.
I might need to go and get some military training so I can get this 3-year-old under wraps. Okay. Can I send her by your mom so she can get it together? Cause
See, my mom's a different person now. See, now she's a grandmother and a great
a great
grandmother.
grandmother.
So
You
her
don't even know who that person is, huh?
softness. Oh my God, the mother I had and the woman she told that baby gonna come over here and be worse. It's gonna be more rotten, more spoiled. You're gonna be like, I sent the baby over there for help. And that baby gonna get whatever they want over here. Can't nobody save you, can't nobody help the baby. You better not make the baby unhappy. So this is probably the worst environment for discipline because all the discipline went out the window.
That's hilarious. So, did you get to travel all over the world with your mom, or did you just travel? Like, did you move different places in the U.S. as a child?
So I'm kind of one of the rare army brat or military child situations. So I'm originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Right.
So um, I was born and raised in Fayetteville. Fort Bragg is a military base there. Um, when my mother deployed to Korea, we came back to Baltimore for the year that she was there. And then when she came back home, we went back to North Carolina. And when she had to go off to Gulf War, we were still in North Carolina. But when I was in high school, that's when we had our first overseas deployment. And I went to Germany, which is where I lived in Germany for 3 years. I went to high school there. I graduated from high school in Germany, and I'm actually glad that I had that experience because while I was in Germany, I was able to go to different countries. So whereas we're stationed in Germany, but France is next door, and Holland is down the street, and Poland is around the corner. So, like, it would be equivalent to me going from North Carolina to Maryland or to Virginia, but I'm overseas. So now I get to experience all these different places and cultures. Like, our class field trips were to Amsterdam and to
Oh,
Poland because
wow.
it was a Department of Defense school. So I got to do a lot of traveling while I was overseas. There's still places that I've never been, places that I want to go, and places even in the United States. Like I just went to the West Coast for the first time like 2 years ago. I had never been to
Wow.
California, so it wasn't until my comedy career took me to California. I had never been, so I've
Oh,
traveled mostly like the East Coast and then overseas in Europe.
I mean, that's a great high school experience.
Um,
Yeah.
yes.
I still have not. I've traveled to the Bahamas. That's it. That's Bahamas.
Yeah,
I
I,
still
I I
haven't.
traveled earlier this year. I did my first cruise. I took my first cruise
Okay.
January of this year, which is why I thought this year I was gonna
What's gonna be
Thought
the year?
2020 was gonna be, yeah, breakout, because it started off strong. Got to go on a cruise, and that was cool. I had never been to St. Thomas. I had never been to St. Martin. I had never been, and I was like, a girl can get
This
used to
is
this.
great.
And then, boom, Earth closed.
Well, aren't you glad you
Stopped
wasn't
me in
on
the
a
middle of my
cruise ship
drink.
that got? Aren't you glad you was in a cruise ship
The
that didn't get stuck in the middle of the pandemic?
the crazy thing about that is, like, and I think about that
Whew.
often. Literally, the last 2 days of the cruise, I remember being in my cabin, and I have, because I'm an old lady, and I be having the news on sometimes. Just I might not have the volume up, but I got it on, and the news was
Mm-hmm.
on. I was in my cabin changing my clothes, and I looked over at the TV, and it said something something coronavirus, and I was like, "What the heck is a coronavirus?" I was like, "You can't drink Coronas no more." That's like what I thought. What is it something in the bottle? Well, okay, well, whatever, and dismissed it. And
Mm-hmm.
when I came back, everybody, it was like, I was like, how long was I gone? Like, the cruise wasn't, like, what is happening? And so I'm like, what is this coronavirus stuff that everybody's talking about? I started doing research, and at the time I was on radio. So, I'm reporting the stuff on radio. And then when the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic, I was like, pandemic? And so I was like, okay, well, maybe it's not that bad. And then next thing I know, they was like, this is shut down. This is shut down. My radio job was like, we shutting down. I was like, wait, what? And I was like, oh,
Well,
this is serious. And it didn't really take effect until when the NBA said we ain't
oh
playing.
yeah,
I said, I said, oh
oh,
nah,
the
oh this
experience.
okay. So zombie apocalypse. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
this
okay.
is what we was doing. Okay, cool. But I think about it all the time, because literally that ship, that first ship that they
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, y'all can't come in. If we would have taken that cruise a week later, like 7 days later from the date that we actually left,
Yeah.
we could have been them people out on that ship stuck on the boat. And it was cool for a week. But months, oh nah, fam. I
Nah.
think I'm gonna go ahead and jump in
Wait,
this sea and take my chances.
they was out there for months on a cruise ship.
Well, some of them were. Some of them were like on the ship. They weren't letting people off. So it's like they were like, oh, some places were like, oh no, y'all can't even bring that boat over here. Some of them was like, stay out where you are, and then some they would let dock, but they wouldn't let people off. I was like, oh nah, mm-mm, mm-mm. But if we would have waited, like if we
Whew.
would have left like a week later, we could have been stuck on that ship for an extended period of time, which is cool. It
Wow.
was cool for them 9 days, but mm-mm,
Mm-mm.
ain't that much partying in the world.
No, I wouldn't have liked that at all. I did not know they were stuck on there that long. I know people were stuck on
Yeah,
a
some
ship,
of
but I
them.
didn't know it was that long. That's
And
crazy.
then people were sick on the ships, and they weren't
Oh
letting the
wow.
sick people off. So I think it was like one, I can't remember the cruise line, but it was like, I think the name of the ship was the Diamond something, and it was like 700 people on board are sick. And I was like,
A
700? Because the
hundred.
ship, yeah, like the ship I was on, it was a Royal Caribbean, and I had never been on a cruise. This ship was huge.
Right.
I'd never seen a boat, a ship that big, and I was like, whoa. And that ship had about 5,000 people on it. So
Wow.
even though 700 like is a lot of money, like a lot of people, but 700, and then it spread that fast, I was like, oh nah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I got off.
Oh,
But I
I'm
had fun.
glad you got
I
off too.
turned up. I turned up though.
You didn't know it was gonna be your last time you turned up, but at least you turned up,
I
you
I,
know.
I didn't know that was my first vacation of 2020 and the last one. So, but
Oh my
yeah,
goodness. I'm
crazy.
now I'm mad because my birthday was in January and I wish I would have did something for my birthday. Because if I would have known that, but you don't know. You don't know.
You see,
It's
I had
one
a
of them things.
quarantine birthday. My quarantine birthday actually turned out to be one of the most memorable, one of the greatest ones for me. So I had some really
What did
great
you
friends
do?
that helped me celebrate it. It's been a pandemic. I stayed right here in this house, but my girlfriends, my girlfriends sent me um, since the pandemic, I have not been able to indulge in the fun things I like to do, like real life happy hours, get me a cocktail, stuff like that. So my
Right.
girlfriend, one of my favorite girlfriends, Afton, she sent me some wine, and she sent me some gluten-free vodka, because we like gluten-free stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, I get to have a little cocktail, so I was able to have me a nice cocktail for my birthday. And then my other girlfriends, my girlfriends that are in different states, they got a card. One of them got a card and then wrote in the card, mailed it to another girlfriend in another state. Then that
Oh,
girlfriend wrote in the
wow.
card, mailed it to another girlfriend. And when I got the card, all of them had personally signed it. And I thought that was really cool. That
Oh,
made me, feel good. And, people online showed me a lot of love. So, it was my milestone birthday. I turned 40 in August. And I was just worried that it was going to be bad and I wasn't going to have a good time. But they made it great. And then I was online and then people was, you know, filling up the cash app. I got a couple of dollars and I got to order me some
there you
food,
go.
some takeout. It was, so it was cool. I enjoyed it.
That's
It was cool.
look, that's awesome.
I think
That is
I might fake a
awesome.
birthday. I'm about to
Fake a birthday.
about to yeah, I'm about to fake another birthday real quick. Like, hey, redoing my birthday to those of you that might have missed it, because I got new followers, so they might want to celebrate it.
Yeah. So how's that going? Your new journey? 'Cause I think I followed you on your YouTube page. How's that going
Okay.
on your YouTube?
So I am not as visible and active on my YouTube as as some of my colleagues. Like I've had a YouTube channel for years, and every now and then I'll be like, well, let me put something on there for somebody to look at. Let me put a few of my sets and or interviews when I was doing radio. Like I did some interviews and put them on there. But my subscribers to my channel are increasing,
Okay.
and that increases as my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter following increase. So as much as I would like to, it's just a team of me. I don't have assistant. I don't have a team of people that can do all of these things for me. So I'm just trying to navigate and figure out the digital content stuff. Plus,
Yeah.
I'm older. I get frustrated with technology. I'll be like, you know what? I don't have time. I don't want to. So, but
Look,
I am going to work towards creating and putting more content on my YouTube. But my Instagram following has
shut up.
done more than I imagined. Like I've gained almost 3,000 new followers in the past 6 months, and I haven't touched the stage. So, you
That's
know, I'm
awesome.
I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Hey, look, you still gotta put yourself out there. I mean, you're an entertainer. You still gotta figure out a
Hmm.
way to entertain the people. And that's why I was so happy for you when I did see you on Tahir's show. I'm like, she's getting connected with these comedians that knows the internet so well. And I was like,
Yes.
yes, this is what this is what she needs. And then I saw you on the all deaf digital. I'm like, look at her. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
and
never met
and
her, but I'm so proud of her.
it's like the crazy thing is that a lot of people like don't realize until they get into the entertainment industry, that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Or
Exactly.
sometimes you'll see people that you may consider less talented than you, but they're outworking you. I met Tahir when we did season 3 of Part of the City. I met him a couple
Okay.
years ago because he was on the same city, on the same season, and we just chopped it up and became cool. I liked his energy, he liked mine, and we just stayed in touch. So anytime I was in LA, hit him up, he would look out for me. And with the pandemic, it's caused like this. I mean, really, what this time is doing is showing what people are made of. And a
Exactly.
lot of the stand up comedians, like, we were like, okay, um, we can't do shows. So now we got to take over this internet. What are we going to do? So we've been creating shows and creating content. And when he created Zooming with the Homies, he started to bring along, people that he
Yeah.
knew. So I already knew him and did Zooming with the Homies a couple times. That helped boost my following. And then he works heavily with All Deaf, and then he connected me with them, and Kev on stage and Patrick Cloud and Meg Scoop. And I was just like, okay, cool. So these
Right.
relationships that I'm building in the pandemic, they're still going to transition when Earth reopens, whenever that is. I don't know,
Right.
2028, something like that.
Right. I was so happy for you, especially the all deaf digital one you did, and I'm laughing because I know how they are because I watched them a lot, and you was like, "Oh, they are getting on each other." I was cracking up
Yeah,
laughing.
like I've seen a couple of it because I'm guilty of it. I didn't get to consume and watch a lot of TV and watch a lot of content that my counterparts put out. And
Yeah.
also I don't want to consume so much of my colleagues because you don't want to be subconsciously influenced by them.
Right.
So I'd only seen a few clips of Squad Cats, but I knew that every time I saw them all together, I'm like, yeah, these guys be brutal with each other. Like they go in, and then it's like but it's like that with some of my comedian friends or some of
Yeah.
my friends that aren't comedians. People will be like, why are y'all talking to each other like that? Because we love each other. But to
Yeah.
be sitting in it while it's happening, it's like, yo, and it's like you're the guest, you're the outsider, so it's like you can't really say anything because it's kind of like, whoa, 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 new girl, like say this about but you can't because we don't know you like that. But it was just so entertaining and funny to just
Yeah.
be in the mix and just see them in real time doing what they do. It was absolutely hysterical. I had a great time doing that. I hope I get to
I
go
was
back.
laughing. I hope you did too, because I really enjoyed that episode. I'm like, look at Ty. I was just so happy for you. I'm like, look at her. I'm so happy. 'Cause like I said, I love comedy. I've been following comedy since my early 20s. I'm not that old. I'm 33. But I love comedy and I love watching female
Oh,
comics thrive and be recognized. You know what I mean? And I like following people's journeys. Can you hear me? You kind
yeah.
of breaking
And
up
I
a
don't
little
want
bit.
people to think I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, because I don't want people to think I'm an alcoholic when I keep like dipping down. I'm just taking some. This is my sweet tea from earlier, and it's
That
it's
sweet
it's no
tea.
liquor or anything, and I'm just drinking my sweet iced tea.
That's
McDonald's
McDonald's
sweet
sweet
iced
iced
tea
tea.
is amazing.
That
Yep,
is diabetes
liquid
in a cup.
diabetes.
That I
Yep,
can't do it.
but I love it
I
though.
can't do it. I get the
My guilty
shakes right
pleasure.
after. I'm like, I should never drunk this. My hand, I, I'm wired now.
See, I have
I
low
can't
blood
do
sugar,
it.
so it's like it worked for me. So I'm like, boom, I got my boost. I'm good. What we doing? What we talking about? Well, next question. Hello. What we doing, girl? Hey. Okay. Let me see the sugar.
Look, that's just me normally. I don't need sugar. I'm like, what's going on?
I gotta grow up. At some
No,
point in
you
my
don't.
life, I gotta grow up.
No, no, you don't. No, you don't. That's overrated.
I'm not. It ain't gonna be today. It ain't gonna be today.
So
Not.
let's go back to the
Mm-mm.
question. At what point did you know comedy was it for you?
Um. So, dang, these some good questions. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
I wrote them
um,
myself.
really good questions. Some really good questions. So I've always been a funny social butterfly class clown type person,
Hmm.
which I attribute that to the hopping of the different schools and whatever,
Yeah.
which I always say was a defense mechanism for me. And then when I became an adult, I had many friends and I had some comedian friends that were like, yo, you got to do stand-up comedy, like you really should be a stand-up comedian. And I was like, nah, bruh. um, that's something different. Being funny around my friends and family is one thing.
Right.
Them getting on stage and doing that, that's not my gift. And then I remember one day, a girlfriend of mine, we used to work together back when I had a square job. We was just cutting up at work, and like I always like to mention her because as you elevate in your career, people will always try to take credit for things that they shouldn't be taking credit for. And
Right.
if I become a huge, superstar, whatever, I know there are going to be a lot of
When
people that are going to be like,
when you
you're right.
become a huge star.
Manifest it.
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
I become a huge superstar, I know that there are going to be people that are going to be like, I discovered her, and I'm the reason that she was able to do what she's doing. started stand-up comedy. The reality of the situation is there's a young lady by the name of Crystal Tabron, and she's a comedian. Her stage name is comedian Chris Styles. She and I used to work together at a job, and we would just cut up and just be stupid at work all day. And one of our coworkers was like, "Hey, one day y'all need to take this act on the road." And me and her was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go to open mic. We're gonna do a show and blah 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 blah." And we just put it on the bucket list. And I ended up leaving that job. I quit. I didn't get fired, but I quit because I knew I was about to get fired. So
Took it in
what
your
I
own
did
hands.
was, right, you know what I mean? You can't fire me. I quit. But I used all of their resources to help me find another job. Shout out to me. So I quit the job, and I hadn't talked to her, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and she had went and did a show somewhere, and her friends had posted it on Facebook. I texted her and I was like, "Oh my God, like you went out and did it, you did your thing, I'm so proud of you, blah, blah, blah." She was like, "Yep, now it's your turn. And I'm gonna put you in touch with a guy that I did a show with." And I was like, "Whoa, pump your brakes. This is a bucket list thing, and I'm not dying, you know." And at that time, like my life was falling down around me. Like I had lost my
Wow.
man, my house, my car. Like I had to move back home. And I was like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? Let me go tell some jokes. And if people laugh, yay. And if they don't, whatever, because nothing is worse than what I'm dealing with over here. And I did the show, and I fell in love at first touch of the mic. And I was like, man, this
Wow.
is cool. And I kept doing it. Let me find the open mics. Let me see where people are. But it wasn't until like I was still working my day job. I was still working a regular day job, and I didn't have a car at the time. And I remember I was helping my mother. I was helping my mother move. I was helping my mother move from one place to another place, and I fell off of the back of the U-Haul truck. And I'm a
Oh
tough girl.
wow.
I'm a tomboy. I fell off the back of the U-Haul truck. And you ever like hurt yourself so bad, and people see you hurt yourself, but you can't let them see how hurt you are, but you really hurt. I fell off the back of U-Haul truck, and I rolled my ankle, and I'm just
Oh.
in the grass for a while. Are you like, just and stuff?
Ty,
I finally got up, finished
Ty,
help
you was
moving
breaking up that
all
whole
my mother's stuff in.
you
Yeah.
Ty. You was breaking up that whole time. Do me a favor, if you log out and come back in,
Can
and
you hear
maybe you
me?
can reset. I can hear you, but you're going in and out. So if you log off and then come back in, so we can try to get a little better connection, because I was hearing your story. You fell off, you rolled your ankle, and then it was like. So log off, come right back in, and
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
put you right back
It
in.
sounds like a
Yeah,
transformer. Can you hear me better?
a little bit. Yeah, you might have to. There you go. She's gonna come right back, guys. Sorry, we gotta get that internet connection a little bit better, so she won't sound like a transformers. But guys, for all you guys who's watching, go ahead and share. Let people know that we're here. We were normally on Friday, yes, but we're gonna get her back in the building so we can finish the interview. Um, Go ahead and follow our page, Bougie Girl Cyber Happy Hour. Go ahead and follow our YouTube page. We're trying to build Bougie Girl Cyber Happy Hour and get you girls some merch because we're trying. We got the Bougie Girl shirts. I'm one of a kind bougie. But Ty
Can
is
you see?
back. I can see you much better. Yes,
Is it how it sound?
it sounds good. Do you have headphones by any chance?
Yeah, I think it was the because I'm on my balcony. I think it was the rain. Hold up, let me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you much better now. It's raining out. It was it's rain.
Okay, can you hear me?
It's going in and
Okay.
out. It's going like I can hear you. I just can't see you. You're frozen.
I don't know what's with this technology. Let me take it
Yeah.
inside. Let me take it inside. How's it now? I'm gonna take it inside. Hold on.
Okay.
Technology won't let me because it's a
Look,
hater.
Sometimes it don't let you be great. Don't let you
Okay.
be great at all.
I know it's better now.
Yeah, you might have to get closer to the router, wherever that may be.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I dislike.
Oh, she got disconnected again. Guys, we're trying. Look, technology, it does what it do. And sometimes you just gotta roll with it, guys. So I'm hoping y'all enjoying it. You know, we have comedian Ty Davis. She's telling her stories. Here she comes back in the room. It's connecting. Okay, yes. She frozen again. I think she's frozen again. It's technology, guys. Internet never let us be great sometimes. It happens on Thursday. It's raining actually right now in Baltimore, I believe. So usually when it rains, the connection is horrible um, with StreamYard. Over here. Can you hear me? She went inside and it got even worse. I can see you. I can't hear you. I can see you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? You can hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Let me put you down. Let's see. It's silent. Is your mic working? Disconnect your headphones. Maybe it's your headphones. Nope. Still silent. Let me see if they can hear you on a. Oh, wait. I hear something.
You hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yep. There you
Okay.
go.
All right. So I'm gonna just stand here in this spot and not move much.
Look, don't you
Okay.
love technology? Man,
I
the
told you
worst.
I don't fool with technology, and this is why, because it do what it want when it feel like it. So
Look,
I don't even know where I was at.
you was telling me about when you fell off the U-Haul truck and rolled your ankle.
That part. Yeah. So basically, once I finished doing all of that stuff, I sat down and I looked at my ankle and I was like, "Whoa, it's really swollen. It's really huge. I
Wow.
probably should go see a doctor because I couldn't get my shoe off. My foot was that swollen." So I went to the doctor. Turns out I had broken my ankle, but I was steady walking and moving furniture on it, and I didn't have a car at the time. So what happened is they put me in a cast, and I was like, "All right, cool." My doctor was like, we're just gonna put you out of work, short term disability for a while, so you don't have to worry about it. But I was still doing stand up comedy.
All right.
And one night, I'll never forget this. I saw somebody had a room. They had an open mic. I really wanted to go to the open mic. I didn't have a car, but I'm in a cast and I got crutches. So I was living in Glen Burnie at the time. If you're in Maryland, you know that's like
Hmm.
south of the city. And the
Right.
open mic was in Overly.
I don't know where Oberlin is. I
That's
know what
like
Limburny is.
northeast Baltimore City / county, like
Okay.
going like Bel Air Road, going towards like White Marsh Mall.
Okay, going up that way.
So I caught, I crutched myself to a bus stop, caught the bus to the light rail, caught the light rail downtown, caught a bus from downtown to the spot, did a 5 minute set, got back on the bus to go back downtown to get on the light rail to go back to Glen
Um,
Burnie to catch the bus and then crutch back home to do 5 minutes of comedy. And that's when I knew
that
That's your
comedy
passion.
was for me, because I was willing to do all of that for that 5 minutes on stage. And I hated my job. I hated my job. It was just like not fulfilling. And I was just like, why am I doing this? Why am I coming here 8, 10, 12 hours a day, hating this? But I went through all of this to do 5 minutes of that. Maybe I need to focus on that. So I started running and doing lots of stand up. I went back to work, and I was going to work 8 hours a day, and then I was leaving work and going down to Hanover to do radio, and then I would leave radio and go do whatever open mics or shows, and then I got kidney stones, and then I was like, I got put out of work again. My doctor was cool. I ain't gonna say who the doctor is because I'm pretty sure they probably weren't supposed to do that, but my doctor put me out again, and I never went back to work. Like when my time was up and I was supposed to go back to work, I was like, no, I'm not gonna go. I didn't quit.
That's amazing.
I didn't put in a 2 weeks notice. I just didn't go back.
Don't show back up.
Nope, I'm just not going. I never went back to
Why?
work. I'm not going. Mm-mm. And I've been doing, and that's when I went full time as an entertainer. When I just was like, I'm not going back to work. I'm gonna put all of my energy into this. And then fast forward almost 6 years later, it paid off.
Yeah.
I
It's,
mean,
it's, it's currently and it's still paying off.
I don't make like, this is the crazy thing. I don't make as much money as I did working, but
But it
I'm
don't matter,
the
I'm
happiest
sure.
that I've never been. That I've ever been.
Yeah.
So like, but but then there are times where if you work hard enough and you're consistent enough, the money will come. And just because there's times where I've gotten a big lump sum for shows and things that I've done,
Right.
versus I would have to work 6 months to make this amount of money doing, stand up. So
Yeah.
I feel like this, yeah, this is right now. After this pandemic, I might have to go back to work for a little bit. Um, I might have to go back for a little bit. I might have to go back for
No,
a
you
little
don't.
bit.
Just get your Uber. Just start driving Uber. Make your
I,
own money.
I, I might have to go back for a little bit. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But just know that if I do go back into the workforce after this, I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna stay long. I'm just here for a little bit. I'm just here to get back on pandemic feet, and then I'm out. So
Look, I hear you. I'm in that moment right now because I'm actually a photographer, but I'm working in hair, and I'm like, I hope nobody at my job hears from because I'm a salon leader. But I had a photo shoot at 2 o'clock today. So guess who went and did the photo shoot? Because I'm not about to stop my company for yours.
absolutely, you
And
got mindset. Like I got to
I
take care of
right, and I told them I was like, look, because the salon leader and assistant leader quit a day apart, and I was the only one who had leadership uh training. So I was like, I could do it temporarily. So this supposed to be temporary. This been 2 months later. I need y'all to
you.
find somebody so I can continue my dream, or y'all not
Right,
gonna have nobody.
right.
So your little story inspired me because I'm like, look, I am at this point. I'm like,
It's definitely a leap of faith. Like,
it
and
is.
you just gotta believe in you and your drive and your passion to want to do something, and that's what fuels me. So
Yeah, yeah. So when you're writing your jokes, I think I asked this question, but I don't know where it's at. So I'm just going off the cuff. When you're writing your jokes, how do you know, like, how long did it take you to complete a full set that you know that's going to work? Like, how long does that take?
let me tell you something. I envy the comedians that can come up with a new set and run it. I remember I was working on a joke one time for 4 months,
Wow.
and even the joke, like, it's functional. I do the joke, but it's not tight and where I want it to be.
Yeah.
And then in the pandemic, I have tons of material and premises that I'll write down on a post-it or in my joke book or on a notepad and be like, that is funny as I don't know what in my mind. And then I get distracted and busy and I don't go back to it. So for me, my writing process is a little lengthier because
Yeah.
one, I'm a perfectionist. Two, I need things to make sense. So
Yeah.
a joke should have a beginning, middle, and end. It should, and I'm so caught up in that process, and I've had some of my colleagues listen to some of my stuff, and they're like, "Nah, the joke is fine the way it is," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. It's not, but thanks." So, the process it takes a while, and like
Yeah.
my set, like my set, which if someone called to book me today and say, "Hey, I need you to do an hour at this club," all right, boom, got you. It took me, a year, if not a year and a half or more, to have that because I built my set minutes at a time. So
Yeah.
I started with 3 to 5 minutes, and then 5 to 7, and then 7 to 10. So I added on pieces as I went along. But then it's like, as you're adding on pieces, it's like, ooh, you know what? I can go back and punch up this old joke.
Yeah.
So it's like like for me, I'm constantly rebuilding and working on. And now what I've been focused on is writing all brand new material because I have my set. But when I come
Yeah.
out of the pandemic and when I do hit a physical stage again, it's okay to come back with the old stuff because people don't forgot that. And then some of the stuff people love and it's funny, but the new stuff that I want them to see, hey, this is what I've been doing the past 6 months, and it's caused you to tap into and really focus on your journey and what you've been doing. So I'm excited to do the new stuff, but some of it ain't even finished. In theory, it's great, but it's going to take a while. It
Wow.
takes.
Yeah, it takes a while. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure like the delivery, how you're delivering it and everything like that makes a difference. So
Yep.
are you like every time when you first started building your first, you say you have your hour. So when you first started building your first hour, how many times do you have to like say a joke and how many different ways until you know, okay, that's gonna hit every single time?
So for me, I don't ever run my set in the same way. So basically, if you've enjoyed me and you've seen me do stand up, what? I thought somebody was standing behind me and it's his hair. Um, See, this is what happens when you're not used to having hair. Okay, so um,
It's
I
funny
lost.
because I've had that happen and I'll slap myself because something's touching me and it's the hair.
Who was standing behind me? Oh, none. This is ponytail. um, shoot, I lost my train of thought. What were you saying?
You're talking about building your hour.
So I never run my set in the same way. So if you've seen me do stand up 10 times,
Hmm.
you're never going to be able to sit in the back of a room or sit in a club and be able to say word for word what I'm going to say. Um, you might know I'm about to jump into a joke, but you don't know if I'm going to do a piece of it or if I'm going to do the whole bit. So I never run it that way. And then also, some of my OGs, like my OG Rodney Perry, he one night he told me, he was like, "You want to challenge yourself?" He was like, "Split your setup." He was like, "What do you usually open with?" I said, "Oh, I usually open with this." He said, "What do you usually close with?" "Oh, I usually close with this or this." He was like, "Okay, do your closing bit first. Do your opening bit at the end, or do your opening bit in the middle, and then do what you do in the middle at the end." And I was like, "Whoa, why would I do that? That's crazy." And he was like, "Nah, you said you want to be challenged." And so I started to do that, and it makes you sharper. So, I'm always punching up. It's like you're always able to fine tune and just do something to it. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with just this is a joke, this is how it goes, and I'm not touching it anymore.
Right.
I'm always gonna do, and then my material, my subject matter stays the same, the material stays the same, but my delivery differs. If
Yeah.
I'm doing my set in front of college kids at a university, I'm gonna talk in their language, but I'm talking about the same thing. Versus if I'm doing a show at a church, I'm definitely gonna talk in that language, but it's the
Right.
same material. Versus if I'm at a Def Jam turn up, I'm deaf. So
Yeah.
I adapt. It's about reading the room and knowing who your audience is and just translating what it is comedically in their language so that they can understand it.
Yeah. And that makes sense. That makes you a professional comedian because you have to read your room. You know what I mean?
Like you have to. And I
That's
never like
that's
every
like just like being a DJ and you in the country and you play hip hop. Play
You're like,
country music.
what is that? What are you saying? What is trap music? It's very much like that. So I'm mindful of it, and you have to be quick. You have to be able to read the room quickly. Some people scan an audience before they go out, but even if you scan the audience before the show starts, that audience can look completely different. So when I get out on stage,
Yeah.
I literally, like, if people paid attention to me enough, they can see me working my process. So like if I'm in the Baltimore Comedy Factory, I literally, when I come out on stage, I scan the whole room like this. Like I physically move my body around the room, and I'm like, all right, boom, got it. 500 people in here, go. And
Gotcha.
but I love it though. It's great. I love it. I can't
So,
imagine doing anything else. And sometimes I get mad at myself for not starting it sooner.
but sometimes
But
you got to build up to that, you know.
yeah.
When it's your time, it's your time.
Right.
Have you ever dealt with a heckler?
What? Yes, and I don't like them. I don't like them ever. Some people heckle not knowing that they're doing it. So I don't like the heckler that's aggressive, that's like, boo, you suck, which I've never had that happen, but I've seen it happen to people. But
Wow.
I don't like those people because it's like, if you don't think it's funny,
Why are you here? First of all,
well, not even like, if you don't think it's funny, just don't laugh, you
that's
know? Just, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Because I do that all the time. I'll be at a show and I'll be like, this dude is not funny at all, but I'm just gonna not laugh. You know what I mean?
true.
And
Right.
then there's the heckler that's overly involved. That's she said, "Hey, relax. Let me get through it." Or they
They
want to
heard me.
communicate it. They like, and what else you do? And what else you say? Let me finish. You know what I mean? So each heckler is different. I've
Yeah.
had situations with hecklers where I was like, you know what, you want to be a part of the show? Boom, now you're the show. And then you deal with them and address them, and then you jump back into it. And then I've had situations where I had some racist people come to a
Wow.
show that I was hosting, and I warned them at first. I warned them a second time, and then I was like, okay. And I literally left the stage, walked into the green room, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna need y'all to go out here and deal with these people. And they were mostly comedians, and then just people from, we in Baltimore, so
Right.
we know different type of people. And when I came back, I had a bunch of them with me, and they were like, "Who?" I was like, "Them two right there." And they were like, "Yeah, y'all can." So I've had people ejected from a show
Yeah.
because the people came to hear the comedians talk. They didn't come to
Yeah.
hear you. And if you don't like it, leave, or just sit here and be quiet and wait until you
Right.
see something that you do like. So, but
I'll
it
go to
varies.
open mic and try your hand at it if you want to be a comedian so bad.
Or you can do that. But these guys, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. They were so rude, and I wanted to fight. I wanted to square up, but that's unprofessional, so I didn't.
See, that's why I'm glad you're not from exactly Baltimore. You was raised other places because if you was, you probably would have. 'Cause
Put it like this: at that phase in my career, I was moving a little bit, so I couldn't.
couldn't
But I think if this would have happened, probably maybe
early
like
on.
early in my career, I'd have been like, "Square up, cuz like what you." But that place in my career, I was just like, So it's like you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta operate with a certain level of restraint. So
yeah. Trust
yeah.
me, being a leader and being in my position is so hard. I be
Hmm.
wanting to address people so bad, especially people. I work for hair cutter. I don't know if you know what hair cutter is in Baltimore. They're
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
So hair cuttery clients, different breed. The people that come here, sometimes equal to Walmart clients. They just got stuff to say. So
Hilarious.
you just have to like either stay calm. Only one guy really tried me recently, and he came in first of all without his mask. I said, "Go put your mask on."
See,
We're not doing this. He was like, I'm exempt. I don't have, I don't have corona. I can't give it. I can't take. I'm like, it don't matter. Safety of everybody. Then I said, go wash your hands. I use hand sanitizer. Go wash your hands. Then we have questions. I asked him all the questions. Yes, I had all that this morning. Then I can't do your hair. No, 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 no. I'm just joking. Cut his hair. Leave. For some reason, he requested me again. Came back. He
oh, he
came
was
in.
getting on your nerves.
Came in, we had one chair in the lobby for like old people that, they just mobility dropped them off. They can't go nowhere. So we put a chair out there. We're not supposed to have no chairs. Put it there. He came, he sat there. I told him, you can't sit there. Go sit in his car till I'm ready for you. He fussed about that, but he left out. Literally 5 minutes later, somebody else came in for somebody else, a client. Her client walked to the back. I didn't know she had a guy with her, right? She went to go wash her hands. He sat down in that chair. This guy stormed in. First of all, you told me I couldn't sit there. Tell him he has to leave. Tell him he has to leave. I'm like, sir, you can leave. I want to hear you tell him that he can't sit there. No, he heard you and I need you to leave. I'm like, why? Why are you being so? And he was a black male, but they was calling him Karen.
And this is why I
I
haven't been
don't.
interacting with the public. I stay in the house. Like I went for a 15-minute
I
walk
wish.
today, and I probably won't walk anywhere again for like another month and a half, maybe two. But I haven't really been socially interacting with, because people are at the height of their weirdness and they're crazy right now. And I know that I have some areas of improvement. And no, we square up. Like I might be at that square up phase in my life.
Right. And I just thank God that I started doing Bougie Girl and kind of started working on myself because that would have
Hmm.
been a whole different situation how I would have handled it. But I was just like, I just need you to leave. But I
Right.
think I think you should go interact with people, and that's great material because people acting crazy out here. I'm like, just
Hmm.
people watch, just go sit in the harbor with your mask on and just people watch. People are crazy right now.
I ain't going down there. I ain't going down there at all. Mm-mm.
This look, when I tell you, me and my husband, we quarantined for what 3 months. He's a barber, I'm a hairstylist, so we had to go back because people was like calling us, "Can you please use my hair?" I'm like, "You're fine." Um, but we was like, okay, we're just gonna take a ride. We're gonna stay in a car, but we're gonna just take a ride downtown because we was tired of being in the house. It's you go crazy. People were frolicking, no mask on. This is like in May, April, May. People just frolicking for no reason. You know, it wasn't us.
Look, like I was trying to decide, do I want to move this device,
Don't do
or
it.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave this right here. So I'm just gonna put a chair right here
There you go.
because I got 40-year-old knees and I
I
can't
understand.
stand no more. I had to sit down.
I got you. I got you. But yeah, people was just frolicking in Baltimore, and it wasn't us. You'll see like maybe one of us speckled around, with no
Mhm.
mask. I'm like, okay, so you that token person, but people just don't care right now, and it's crazy. And I'm like, the material's out there though. If you wanted to just take a risk
Mm-mm.
and just, she's like,
Nope.
no, I'm saying this.
Nope. I'm not frolicking. I'm not taking that kind of risk. And also like with material wise, I know that a lot of the comics are touching
Doing that.
on the
Hmm.
topical stuff, like quarantining with their family and their kids, and having to help them with schoolwork virtually and coronavirus. So I'm trying to train
Stay
my
away from.
mind to stay in the space as if the world is still turning. So I don't want to do material that's topical that I'm going to end up throwing away anyway. Like when I
Because
did
you won't be able to
afterwards,
use that in 4 years.
yeah, like I have been doing online shows. Like for the online shows, I might say, oh, let me talk about this. But it'll be something that, I'll throw in. I probably won't, add to the set, or you know, but for the most part, I've been focusing on material that I can do today or next year. And it's still relevant because of the subject matter.
That makes sense. And I think of that when I do my photography too, because I'll be getting a lot of requests from grown folk. Can I get balloons with birthday? I'm turning 40. I want the 40 balloons. I'm like, why do you want balloons and a cake? You're 40 in your pictures. I don't get it. I can't, and I refuse to do it. I'm like, you could bring them, but I'm not gonna shoot just that. I can't.
Hmm.
So I understand. I understand because to me, you take a picture with your big 40 behind you, and then what? You can't use that next year. It says 40. Is that your mom?
Yep. I did it. I did it. I did it. See, this is why I be on the balcony
No.
to avoid all of the stuff going on in the background.
Let me tell you, I understand. I told you I have a 3-year-old. My husband wasn't home yet, and I had to get on here, so I locked her in her room. So you could hear her crying.
Poor baby.
Look, it was safer than letting her run around the house and not jumping into the video. I was trying to be professional, but it was only for 5 minutes. I heard him come in. She was okay. Yeah, she was okay. But
Okay.
this has been a great hour. We'll love to have you back.
Oh,
Uh,
please. I'm here for it. I'm honored. I appreciate
Look, and as we grow and we start making our money from here, we're gonna be paying people, so it will never always be free. But I appreciate it.
Well, listen, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Look.
Anybody that's interested in talking to me, I'm like, well, we should probably talk to them back. So,
And you know what's so funny? I how we found you. I was searching. I was like, I want to find interesting people on the show. Like, I need to find people who have stories and stuff like that. And I typed in. I was like, I love comedy, so I typed in comedian. You was the first one, and I felt it. I'm like, we need to contact her,
oh
right?
wow,
And then I looked at a second comedian too, and I was like, I watched her material. I'm like, I don't feel like she's gonna be in the vibe of bougie girl, but
like the
you're
messy side of me want to be like, who is it?
the
But I
I
ain't
don't
gonna
even
be.
remember. I don't even remember. That's the thing. She wasn't memorable. But I'm
I'm
like,
like,
I know. I'm like Ty Davis. Like I know this. Why do I know this name? I was like, remember, I believe
mm,
we saw you at one of the. I don't know which one though, because I love comedy. Like that's our date night. We go watch comedy. I think my first comedy show that I paid for was the Houston Improv and Kevin Hart. His first
okay.
set. I paid $24 and I was like, this literally was the stage and this was me. I was right there. I was that close.
Yeah, you get that close to him at a show now, it's gonna be more than $24. I tell you
I,
that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, that's $24 that was spent. And then I think I saw some more there. Like I love the Houston comedy. They always, I mean, the Houston improv. Have you ever been there
Hmm.
before? Have you performed there before?
No, no, no. I was the crazy thing is I was scheduled to go to Houston in
Oh,
March, pandemic. I was supposed to be doing Atlanta in the Carolinas this summer, pandemic. Supposed to be doing hitting Florida, pandemic. So all of my dates for the places that I hadn't been, um,
got
they
canceled.
were on the roster for this year. And then, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
That's me being toxic, positive, and just processing it, and I'll get the opportunity to go and work those places
of course.
when Earth reopens. But it was like, man, I had so much planned, but God is a
God has
comedian.
more. Yep.
God is
He has
God is a
more.
comedian. If you want to hear God chuckle, you lay out your plan and you tell him what your plan is, and he gonna look at you and be like, okay, and
If you think so.
and do that whole thing over. So, you know, I
He'll sit there and watch you do your plan and watch you
like,
fail.
oh,
Like, because that's not what I told you to do in the first place. So
oh,
go
that's
ahead.
cute. Oh, you think that guy that you've been dating for 3.5 years is the one? Oh, he's not. Break up, and then you like, oh my god, I'm sad.
He was like, "Oh, you done? You coming back now? And now I'm gonna tell
Mm-hmm.
you where to go. You gonna listen this time? You gonna
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
But I'm sure you're gonna have so many shows. Like I said, if the pandemic didn't happen, you might not have connected with some of the comedians that you connected with.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be on and on for you. And I'm gonna be right here. Just like I watched Kevin Hart career blow up. I'm be like, see, I knew it. I knew it.
It it took him about 15, 20 years. So, but hopefully I can cut that down a little bit. But yeah,
Oh no, no, yeah. Cut
it's
that
gonna
down.
go
It's
different.
gonna cut it
So
down.
I'm
Just don't forget me. I am a photographer. So if you need something, just remember, bring your girl. you know.
I am gonna need some new headshots because I'm sick of that old head. I'm sick of it. I can't even. My hair ain't been
with the
red in
with
so.
the red. I'm like, her hair is not red no more. It's
It's
been
not.
cut
It
short.
hasn't been. It hasn't. It
I
has
saw
been
a video
red.
you posted of
In,
you doing your tutorial on your bun.
yeah,
Like,
it hasn't been red since what? February, January. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it hasn't been
that's not
red
that
since
long
February.
ago. But I do believe you need a new headshot at least once a year. That's like,
No, like for us, we should. Entertainers should get new headshots at least every 3 months. Every three
oh,
to 4 months, you should be getting new headshots.
that okay. Let me write that down so I can start marketing to that.
Yeah, like every 3 to 4 months, if you're in the entertainment industry, you should be, especially if you're an actress, actor, um, comedian, you definitely should have new headshots at least every 3 to 4 months. Men, it might be a little more flexible, but definitely for women because our weight fluctuates or we change our hair. Um, so you should definitely get like new photos every 3 to 4 months. Yep.
Yeah. And somebody
and
told me
that
they was like,
and that was something that, again, one of the OGs in the industry said, yeah, you need to do this. So yeah, it's a process.
yeah, it is. It is, but it's a pandemic, so you can wait. You can wait till the world open back up.
Oh,
But it
they
better
gonna
open.
have to, because y'all gonna get this Amazon ponytail every time you turn on your phone. This is what you're getting. So no new headshots
I need
like
to open
this.
up for my birthday because I need to go somewhere for January. Okay, I need to get out of the state.
Yeah, Earth will see me sometime in 2021, maybe the spring, late spring, summer.
Shit,
So
Earth,
yeah, once Earth, that's when Earth is probably gonna see me again, sometime next year. I'm not.
and I'm sure you're not doing the first round of was it the ejections or whatever they
Oh
doing? I
no,
can't
they can
even.
go. No, they can go right to hell. I'm not doing none of that. So mm-mm. I don't take no new medicine. Nah, I need to see what it do.
I don't even
For
take the
y'all.
flu shot. I don't even take the flu shot.
Yep. I'm not doing none of that.
I've been
Mm-mm.
hearing too many conspiracy theories about what they put in there that affects me as this person.
I ain't fooling with none of it. So you know.
I'll
Mm-mm.
be okay. I'll be okay. I got Jesus and mask. I'll be all
That's
right.
all that matters.
That is. So we ask every single one of our guests. Bougie stands for bold, one of a kind, unbothered, God's girl, intentional, and elegant. What part of bougie you feel like you are the most?
Wait, say it again.
So bold, one of a kind, unbothered, which means we're unbothered what everybody think. God's girl, intentional, and elegant. Which part of bougie you feel most represents you as a person?
My knee jerk reaction wants to say bold, but I'm gonna go with one of a kind.
Mm,
Um,
see, I got that.
because yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna go with that because we all are one of a kind, um, and nobody can duplicate or create the being that is me and my contribution to the world, to society, and the ripple effects of any and everything that I do or things that I may say may go on to impact people, long after I'm gone. So it's a huge responsibility in owning and living in your one of a kind purpose. So that's
Yeah,
where I think I would say I fit most.
that's awesome. Thank you so much. This was such fun. I had I was laughing even when you was breaking up. I'm like, she really trying to find a spot.
Like, I was all over here, but
Your
nope.
internet was like,
This
nope.
is the spot.
I was gonna make the joke, but I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm
Listen,
gonna leave
it
that.
ain't
I'm
Teddy
gonna leave that.
Riley over here. It
That's why I was
might
like, I'm not.
be
I was gonna,
because, and I know what really the problem was. I know what the problem is, but I ain't gonna say it because I ain't trying to trash talk the technology and then it end up kicking me out again. So, but let's just say I don't have these kind of issues with certain technology. That's all I'm saying.
so Crystal said, "This was wonderful. Thank you."
Oh
Um,
man, I love her. Crystal is one of the people that have been so supportive of
oh,
me, and pretty much anything that I do. I mean, from comedy shows to my podcast to my videos that I post on Instagram every now and then to a picture. Super supportive, and I am truly grateful and appreciative for people like her.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely have a few people here on Bougie Girl that are true followers and they help us and they bring us people, they support us. My mom being one of them, but she's not on here tonight, so I'm gonna talk about her.
Hey,
Um
mom.
she gonna watch it. She's like, how's she gonna talk about me? And my dad. But we have a few people that's just, really helping Bougie Girl. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just so grateful. And I can't wait till I get to that next level and we have the millions of followers and
Oh yeah.
you know, to
Just
the next
keep
step.
keep chipping away at it. Stay the
Love.
course, and consistency is key. And you'll get there. I'll get there. We gonna get there together.
Yes, we'll get that together. Yeah.
Hmm.
Look at Ty over there on all these networks.
Hmm.
What is your biggest dream? I know we say we was done, but what is your biggest dream? Like, what is your golden ticket or your what do you want to see as far as your career? Like, what is your ultimate goal? And is there an ultimate goal?
Yeah. Well, my ultimate goal is to create generational wealth, breaking generational curses,
Amen.
and having a legacy that will be so magnetic and impactful that it will be embedded and encoded in the DNA of my descendants. I have daughters, I have a granddaughter. What I am working to achieve and what I'm doing, I want I want to be old money. I'm talking about my
Amen.
grandbabies. That's what I'm working to create. I want to be able to. This is when I'll know that I'm successful. Success for me is all my bills are on auto debit, and I don't care when they're due. Y'all just come get the money when you get it, cause it's in there, and I'm not you know, tripping. Because let me tell you something. On some days, I feel like a winner with that last $50 in my account, and then here come Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and Apple, uh, busting me down to the seams. So that's my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to be able to be comfortable financially, be
Amen.
mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually stable, and creating a legacy for my family and all of those that come after me.
And that's
And for that kind of success and commitment, it's going to take a long time and a lot of work, but I'm here for it.
hey, but God, you might say it take a long time, but you never know what might happen in the next 5 years.
Yeah, something
So
could happen tomorrow.
tomorrow, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. That's how I look at it because that's the same thing for me. Like I want to be debt free. I
Hmm.
don't want nobody nothing. I want to buy
Hmm.
my house in cash, and I want to be able to travel. And like you said, have stuff debit on my account. It's in there.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, my daughter's 3. I want her to be able to start her first business at 10, so she can be business minded and she will
Hmm.
never have to work nobody's job
Right.
because mommy created jobs for
Sure.
her.
For sure.
So we all on the same path. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of women, especially black women, we stepping up to the plate. Like it's our
Yeah.
time. It's our time. And I hate when people say we the bottom of the totem pole. No, we're not. We just wasn't saying nothing. But now we're coming up.
Right.
We was just we was just dormant until now. So I'm
Hmm.
about to ride this wave because black women, we going somewhere.
Absolutely.
And they've been looking at our men, but they wasn't looking at us. Guess who's behind the men? Hi, how you doing? How you
Somebody say,
doing?
somebody say something. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, it's us. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna stop it, so don't click off yet. But guys, thank you guys for watching Boozy Girl Cyber Happy Hour. Watching Ty Davis. We had a little technical difficulties. That's okay. That's life. We
We
kept it
got through
rolling. We kept it kept it rolling. Um, Make sure you follow us on Bougie Girls Happy Happy Hour on Facebook, also on our YouTube page, and also we have a I'm Bougie group that we're building. So if you have stuff going on, you drop it in there, let people know so we can support you. You know what I mean? Everybody's welcome to join, and we're just here to support each other and create this community of women that's moving up and doing some things, learning and growing together.
Thank you
So,
for
um,
having me. I really appreciate it.
no problem. Everybody have a good night. Remember to go to our Teespring store and cop you guys one of our t-shirts. We have several designs and we're going to be throwing up some more on there. And that's just to support the channel, to help us continue to grow and give some giveaways away, because it's not enough to like pay people, but it's enough to like give some stuff away. So thank you guys. Join us next week. On Sunday is Girl Chat, and then next Monday is our Motivational Monday, and we're going to be talking about the fear of success, because it's our Fear Over Faith series. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.